that's where it is. That's where it is.
That's fair enough.
And the next one is, let's have a look. Now this is a great film, right? This is a great remake. It's one of my favorite remakes. Philip Kaufman's '78 remake of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And I remember, years ago when I was a kid in the '70s, flicking through, must have been a Marvel or DC comic. I could have been anyone, And I remember seeing a full page advert for this with this artwork on, and I just remember thinking, it's something I want to see this film, and it wasn't until sometime later I got to see it. But this is a great remake, really piles on the paranoia, and it's great how it's sort of it's slow. You can see it's seeping in, the alien invasion. More people are changing overnight. It's like the great scene where Donald Sutherland goes into, I think, the laundrette, and the Chinese guy who works at the counter, he goes, "You a doctor?" And Donald Sutherland goes, "No, I'm a health inspector. What's wrong?" I said, "Problem?" And the guy goes, "My wife." "Not my wife." And Sutherland goes, "What's wrong? Is she ill or something?" And the guy goes, "No, my wife okay last night. She's not all right now. Not my wife." And when you see his wife in the background, you can tell she's a pod person.
Aye.
You can tell by she's got no expression, no emotion. You can tell she's been taken over. And then the next day, when Sutherland goes back into the laundrette, same guy's at the counter, the Chinese guy, and he goes, "How was your wife? Okay?" The guy goes, "My wife okay now. My wife fine." And you can see he's been taken over. But it's great how it's slowly but surely you can tell more and more people are succumbing to this invasion. But it's a great film, and this is as you can see, the UHD and the Blu-ray release. I didn't know up until recently Kino Lorber are apparently releasing the remastered Blu-ray separately. Had I known that, I would never have ordered this one. But it was announced after the fact. I didn't know. Do
you think that's a little bit not? Because I mean, if
it's underhanded, yeah.
Well, it is because you would think I've got that one. It's a brand new release. I'm going to get the whole thing in one go, even though I haven't got a 4K player yet.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to look at the Blu-ray, and then what happens? Yeah, that's a little bit underhanded.
Exactly. Well, Blue Underground have done the same thing with Dead and Buried and Vigilante. They've released them on UHD Blu-ray combos, which is fine. And now they're going to release Vigilante and Dead and Buried separately as well. Again, so I'm not happy about it, but at the same time I'm not surprised because we know how some of these labels can go on, just to try and squeeze an extra few pounds.
There was a big backlash from Blue Underground when they originally released the remastered 4K remastered Blu-rays with Zombie Flesh Eaters or Zombie, and everyone thought, oh great, and then literally like a year later they released the 4K. So really people had paid a lot of money, and they were going to pay a lot of money twice. So thankfully I didn't go for them ones, the remastered 4Ks. So I'm so glad that I just went for the pure 4Ks. So I haven't felt ripped off at all. But I could understand what people would do, because I feel that way with Arrow and their recent 4Ks that have been remastered Blu-rays before out, and like maybe a year or two before.
I mean, let's face it here, all of us collectors who've been doing this for a long time, like myself and John have, we've all been ripped off more than once. It's a sad fact these things do happen. It's not nice, but it's the way, it's like Arrow with Tenebrae. I mean, how many times has Tenebrae be reached? I think 3 or 4 times, something along that. But again, I mean, there's plenty of titles that they've done that with. And it's not nice on the pocket. We're not all made of money. But again, it's something you fall for and you get used to as a collector. But this one's jam-packed with extras, audio commentaries, various featurettes, so the lot. So once again, there we go.
Thanks,
you also
John.
watch and enjoy?
Well, I definitely will, and it's been a long time since I've watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers. A lot of people go on about it, saying it's one of the best.
It is. It's great. Yeah.
And I remember liking it when I've got it. It's a bit like, actually, I'm going to put it in line with the Burning, because I bought the Arrow Blu-ray of this a long time ago, and with a view to watch it. Never got around to it. The same with the Burning, which I watched just recently, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I always thought it was an amazing film. This is when I was 14 or 15. So I think, am I going to think at my age, like more than double? Yes, it's hard to believe, John. More than John. But it's the fact that you think, I bet I think it's a right load of rubbish now, but I tell you what, I love The Burning when I watched it. Probably more than ever have enjoyed it, and I'm going to watch it again soon anyway. So I'm hoping I'm going to get the same buzz out of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, because a lot of people say it's a really good movie.
Well, for me, between that film and Carpenter's The Thing, the paranoia in those two films are great, because you don't know who you can trust, and it's great because it's so like it just keeps you interested, keeps you in suspense, because like I say, anybody, the person next to you could be human, it could be non-human, and it's and that film and The Thing really play well with that.
And I do think that Arrow's version of it did look quite nice as well.
Well, like I see, hopefully this one should look a lot. In theory, should look a lot better. Yeah.
I know that the 4K of Mad Max looked really nice, Kino Lorber. So I know that they probably a bit like Blue Underground and Arrow. I kind of trust their 4Ks to be something a little bit special.
Well, that's it. I mean, there's certain labels. When you're going to get value for money. I think I mentioned this once before, one of the earlier posts, like Synapse, Blue Underground. Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, these companies do, make a mess of things from time to time. But it's it happens. It's nature of the beast. I mean, you might remember when Arrow first started back in 2009, when they really sort of came into their own with this cult films attitude. Quite a few of their discs had errors, things wrong with them. I mean, fade off. Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, things have picked up since then. But I think the last time they made error was with the Demons. Was it the Demons?
The Demons had a problem. Donnie Darko had a problem as well. That was I think the bit frame rate was too fast. Yeah. So when it was, I don't think the 4K players could understand them. Right. When they were reading them, they were just skipping and jumping and shuddering because they just couldn't read the information. Because I think Arrow might have put it up to a really high bit rate to make it to look exceptional, but maybe the hundreds, I think it's 100 megabytes per second that you get on a really high bit rate, and the picture's great. It goes beyond that. Then in theory it should be excellent. I think it was something like 300 megabytes per second, but
not the expensive it's going to be hot.
The players didn't know what was playing. The players were going, didn't understand what it was, because I don't think the players had got up to that speed yet. I think that's what it was about. But but I remember you remember how we used to get replacement books. Because remember, I think it was was it the Day of the Dead book?
Oh yes, I was put that missing from there, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then they were giving you freebies away. They give you a Blood Feast 2 away free, didn't it, on DVD?
That's right. Yeah, they did.
Compensate something happened. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what it was for, but I remember I got one of them, didn't I? Free.
Yes, yeah. The work, that was given away free. I mean, like I say, it happens, but. Really, again, I mean, for me these days, maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic, but there's no real excuse for it, really. I mean, if the QA department isn't doing their job, then something needs to be done. It's a bit like Rattler discs, as I mentioned before. I mean, I can't stand them like a lot of other people can't. But again, I mean, this is 2022. I mean, can they not come up with a kind of a case which it's basically Rattler proof, There's
got to be I've got to put something inside the box, maybe a little bit of. I wouldn't mind if when they're putting the shrink wrap on, if they put a little bit of like bubble wrap just loose in the case.
That's happened before. Yeah, I've seen it happen before. But I think I've got a copy of. I've forgotten which one it was. But there was a bit of either sponge or, like you say, like polythene, just to hold it in place. And if they can do that before, like sealing the disc, I don't know how cost effective or what that would be. I don't know. But like I say, in this day and age, really we shouldn't be getting these kind of issues. But again, it's something as a collector, I suppose you get used to.
You do, but a nice thin box there as well, John, which is all the better. On the shelves, that valuable retail space.
This one, right? Okay, this one is the notorious House on the Edge of the Park. Now, this is the 3-disc Severin limited edition Blu-ray. You've got 2 Blu-rays and the soundtrack CD. Nice. This is Ruggiero Deodato's take on The Last House on the Left, that sort of thing. With David Hess. basically just reprising the same kind of role from The Last House on the Left, alongside.
He was good at doing roles like that, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. He'd done a few films, but he was never really going to escape Krug, or I suppose probably this film for that matter.
He was the same in Hitchhike as well, wasn't he?
Well, Hitchhike's a great film.
Yeah,
That's
that film,
I think probably one of the best films he'd done.
Yeah.
He's quite a bad guy in that.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite on the level of Krug or the character he plays in this one.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen Hitchhike, it's well worth a watch. Believe you me, it's got a great twist in it as well.
The 88 films picture quality on Hitchhike is outstanding. It's one of the best ones I've done.
Yeah. This one, as you can see, it's got a lovely slipcase. One was really smooth.
Right, with slipcases.
Yeah, and you've got to love Hess's face on. Hess's face on here. Oh, it's I think it's pretty much a packed release as well. I mean, you still can't get it uncut over here. The Shameless DVD is quite heavily cut, I think.
Yeah.
And it's one of these films I don't know if you'll ever get it uncut over here. It's like I Spit in Your Grave and
I don't think it's because I think when you've got a couple of things that are subject matter, obviously animal cruelty being one of them, and obviously what's in here. I just think that there's a knock-in bet that they just never ever will get past.
Yeah.
You just got taken the chin that you've got to go elsewhere.
Yeah, and it's like I say, as I've said before, this is where imports come in handy.
Yeah.
And again, this one, I mean, I'm not saying this one would never come out in Blu-ray over here, but would be worth buying if it was still going to be heavily cut. You have to have a lot of extras to make want to get it by if it was cut, But
packaging,
Exactly.
I think, remember that one that was released by what was that company called that released I Spit in Your Grave, but they released a nice package of it.
It was very Arrow-esque packaging.
Yeah,
I think was it not 101?
Actually, it might have been.
I think it was 101 films,
But was Arrow not getting a little bit of thing with them to the fact that you've kind of stolen our?
I wouldn't be surprised because if you were to look at that particular release. I was just going back a few years ago now. If you would look at that particular release, you would think at first glance it was Arrow release, and it wasn't.
Well, you remember I used to have it next to my Arrows, didn't it? Because it used to fit in with them, even though it wasn't anything to do with them. But it was the white box, the blue top.
Very, very cunningly packaged, so you would think, "What's Arrow release? I've got to have that one." Well, it wasn't.
I got rid of it, but it was a decent release, but obviously it was heavily cut. I don't think that the picture quality was too good in it either.
Well, personally, just to digress, I've got the code I think it's the Code Red 3-disc set along with the documentary and all the rest of it. That's a great set as well, and I believe it's either out now or it's coming out in UHD with the 2021 remastered transfer. So,
I've seen it online with a channel called Mr. Moonization. I think that's what it's called. And he's done it. He does like a screen grab of the Blu-ray, and then he wipes the screen and shows you the 4K. I tell you what, the 4K on it looked really nice, much better than I thought it was going to look. I thought it would be a slight uptick, but it was a big uptick actually.
And the thing as well, I think that's often the case when you get a film which is like a really controversial film, be it I Spit in Your Grave, be it this, or be it like an Ilsa movie or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's often the case some of these really, quite sleazy sort of films. They can look amazing, and it's.
And they shouldn't be able to look that
well,
nice.
Yeah.
You think they were kept in some dungeon somewhere.
Yeah.
And they would have never seen the light of day. So where have they been stored? Because you get your favourite big blockbuster, and they say, we haven't got the proper elements to make a good version of this movie. Yeah. And yet they've got they can get a Gestapo's Last Orgy out that looks pristine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is mad.
It's like. How can I put it? Films which have like a very ugly content can look very beautiful on the digital medium.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I've got some films in the collection which I'm not really a massive fan of. I've got them more for the reputation or the fact you can't get them over here. Yeah. But some of these films look great, and I would probably if I was watching, I would probably spend more time admiring the quality than actually watching what was going on. And again, I suspect it's the same for a lot of other people. You might, but that's again, if you're a collector, you'd understand that.
Because I think we were talking there just before we went on the video about Gestapo's Last Orgy. The fact is that, we've seen some bad films, and we've seen some real Mondo stuff like Traces of Death, which was probably one of the worst films you could probably ever see for real life murder mutilation. And we both said that Gestapo's Last Soldier is a bit of a hard, uncomfortable watch, isn't it?
It is,
it's got a strange feeling about it.
Yeah, because like I say, there was one of your viewers, as I mentioned before. I can't think which guy it was, who said it's hard to enjoy that film on an exploitation level because it's well made, and he was right. It's considerably better made than SS Experiment Camp or Women's Camp 119, something like that. And because you can't find anything unintentionally funny to laugh at, you have to take it a bit more seriously, and so it hits you a bit harder.
Yeah, there's no comedy relief in that movie at all, is it?
No,
there's nothing you can sort of say, I like that character, I would laugh out at him. Even actually, well, you know Salo, don't you? You know that. People in, that sort of little horrible creep that's in amongst the three. I think it's the three main sort of evil people who run this place.
Right.
Well, you got to laugh out at him. Yeah. The fact he's just such an awful looking person, and so really, even though Salo's a hard watch, you can't get a laugh out of it in certain aspects. But Gestapo's Last Orgy is just so, I don't know. It's tough to pigeonhole what it's about. It's just gets under your skin, doesn't it? Yeah,
it's a bit like, say, like if you watch The Beast in Heat, you can find plenty to laugh at in that film. I mean, it's a comedy classic. I mean, it's so inept. It's such an incompetently made film. You can sit and have a laugh at it. You can't do that with the Gestapo's Last Orgy.
No.
You may feel like having a shower after watching it because it has that kind of impact on you.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't as professionally made, then you could have found a bit more humour in it, but you can't find humour in that one.
Gestapo's Last Orgy is a hard movie to fault because of the fact it just looks incredible.
Yeah.
And all the other ones, like Beast and Heat, when they're going across and you can see the camera crew.
The shadow of the
camera crew, when they're going past on the back of a van.
Yeah.
And you just think the whole thing, you can see it on it, and you think, how on earth could it not have took that out of there? And you can laugh at practically every frame of that movie, but Gestapo's Last Orgy is the opposite to that. You've got to kind of think, wow. But it's not got any kind of it's got not, even though it's an exploitational movie, it's got nothing of the exploitational tropes that you think about.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's really badly made.
Exactly.
The acting's all right in it. The special effects are okay in it. Maybe a bit too okay in some respects, but But I've got to say, I was just saying to John there before, the dinner scene in the dinner scene in the hall is one of the most uncomfortably, awful watches I've ever had to watch in a movie. And it's a movie I'm not going to rush back to, put it that way. I'm glad I've seen it, but I don't really want to watch it. I will watch Beast and Heat a lot more than that.
Well, I've got the 88 films, Gestapo's Last Orgy, the US Blu-ray. I've got, again, more for the collection. I wouldn't say I was a fan of the film. Yes, I will watch it when I get around to get the Blu-ray player. But it's something I've got more because you can't get it over here, and the chances are you probably won't ever get it over here. And it's, again, I think it's the same. Again, going back to it's a collector thing. Some films I've got in the collection because I love, and some films I've got because you just can't get them, or you'll never get them over here, or they just have that certain kind of reputation. It's like it's just something. It's something you. It's like instinctive, I think, if you're a collector, But either way, there we go.
This is brilliant. I mean, I remember when you were over last, you were talking about ordering some stuff, and you ordered this, and you ordered Night of the Demon as well.
I did, yes. Well, the issue was when I ordered the House on the Edge of the Park, I accidentally ordered 2 copies. So John says, "Well, I'll take the other one off your hands." I do like that cover. It's a good little cover.
That's the one I always remember. This movie.
The way the trees form the skull. Yeah, it's class. But like I did say, I accidentally ordered 2 copies, so John said I'll take the other one off you. So, right, fair enough.
I'll have one of them. And also, I was actually, I was thinking about Night of the Demon, and then of course, what happened? Maybe very shortly after that, it got announced by 88, which was mad to think it was going to actually come out.
And guess who ordered the 7 copy? Now, if I knew beforehand 88 films were going to do it, I would have held back. Now, actually, the Severin copy came the other day in the post, and it's a nice slipcase with the profile shot of the Bigfoot's face, and like blood dripping from the mouth and all sorts. Embossed slipcase as well, so it's a nice slipcase. But the 88 films edition is going to have all the same extras, and it's got better artwork. I mean, if you've seen the cover already, you know exactly what I mean. It's a lovely cover. And I don't know if it's going to be a rich slipcase. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But it's got the same extras, the same transfer. Actually, the 88 Films website mentions a 4K transfer. Maybe that's a mistake. I know. Yeah, I know. I know. It's like how I feel on a Monday morning. You know, it's but it's so I'll be ordering the 88 Films Night the Demon when that comes out, because again, if you haven't seen that, again, it's certainly the goriest Bigfoot film ever made. It has to be.
I like it, mate. I think it's a decent. Well, even though I saw it on Code Red, and the picture quality now was quite bad, but I believe that the stuff they're going to get, the elements for this one's going to be much better than the Code Red one. So that's even better. It would be alright to have it, but I would hate it to be just exactly the same as a Code Red one.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they found something from somewhere, and this makes me think that I think this year these companies, maybe Arrow and 88, are going to start to delve back into some video nasties, and maybe we'll get a few real rarities coming out.
Well,
which would be good.
Arrow for me needs to sort of like go back into that in that particular area, because I think for a while now a lot of Arrow's releases, I mean not all of them, but for me quite a few haven't really been my bag at all. I mean, nice to see them just release Barber Shock. That's a step in the right direction, but apart from that, there haven't been a lot of Arrow releases I've been getting into lately.
No, we used to buy them all the time, didn't we? We were getting out all the ones that you wanted. The Dracula, Burning, Microwave Massacre. They were just pouring them out, and I was thinking, we couldn't believe what was coming out. All the things that were had been dreaming about, and there we are. And then they started they tailed off a lot from that. They went a bit more mainstream. I know they mixed with Zavi as well, which isn't really. I don't think it's a good way to go, but I suppose they've got to keep their heads above the water. But I think 88 have picked up their mantle a bit. Yeah, well, let's face it. Let's be honest here. 88 Films have definitely stolen Shameless's thunder. Yeah. There's no two ways about that. And Arrow have to a certain extent, because Arrow released like a Black Cat and What Have They Done to Your Daughters, and that's of course 88 Films done Night Train Murders as well. But it's for me, it's like if you just digress, if you look at Arrow, they've just not long released the Shaw Scope box set. The jam-packed edition of Shaw Brothers Kung Fu classics. I can only assume they must have been observing 88 Films and Eureka and the success they've been having with the Golden Harvest stuff. Like Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung, that stuff. And perhaps Arrows maybe thought themselves, well, maybe it's time for us to sort of dip towards the Kung Fu pool, and maybe they went the Shaw Brothers route. Yeah, that's what I suspect. I mean, that's only my opinion. No, I think there's a lot of maybe Arrow have sort of looked at their stuff and thought, hang on a minute, I think we might need to take a leaf out of their book, because I hear a lot more people talking about 88 than I do Arrow at the moment.
Well, it has to be said. I mean, I think when 88 first kicked off, they weren't a great label, but once this went down the route of the Italian collection, the slasher collection, and especially these richer slipcase releases like Ricky O and like the Jackie Chan stuff, these are to me, these are right up there with Criterion. Not that I'm a Criterion fan. I mean, I think they're overrated personally, but for me, the kind of efforts 88 have been making with some of the Hong Kong stuff, you would expect Criterion to go, make that kind of effort, and long may continue, because I think it's got the point now where they pretty much, when every 88 film release now is going to be a big one. I mean, I'm not going to touch stuff like Anaconda and that sort of thing. Not my bag, but the Italian stuff, like I say, like the Violent Professionals, the tough ones, those lovely Richard slipcase copies of them, and it's high time these kind of films were given that kind of lease of life. Beautifully packaged, beautifully remastered, jam-packed with extras. If you're into that kind of cinema, it's what you want, and this kind of treatment is long overdue. So like I say, long may it continue.
I agree. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go and have a look at these titles here, and we're just going to come back and give you a sort of rundown as what we think of the picture quality on here, which graded by both of us. So see you on the flip-flop.
See you shortly.
Okay, so back from checking these movies out, we've got some great things to talk about. So first up, let's talk about Phantasm.
We've checked this out, and the quality looks great on both the corrected Blu-rays. A lovely slipcase, as you can see, and there's a superb. The poster's great.
Isn't it?
Now, as you can see, now these are the incorrect discs. The correct disc for, in this case, Phantasm. Okay, as you can tell, it's a different illustration, different picture disc. Okay, so we know right off the bat that's the wrong one, and that's the right one. This one, they look similar, except if you look the inside the case here, you can see the R rating. Might be a bit hard to see, but you can see it there. On this one, it's gone. It's not there.
I'll put that right in the camera. You might be able to see that, the fact that this R rating's on there. I can see it there.
Yeah.
And then on this one, you don't have it at all.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
So that shows you that this is the corrected 4K. So is this got a 4K remaster? This one?
I don't think it has. I think it's just the same as the Screen Factory transfer. Actually, if you look, it looks like that. The colours, it's slightly lighter. The faces seem to have more colour.
Yeah, actually.
To them.
Yeah. Yeah. Aye. But I mean, this looked great in the Phantasm.
It did. Yeah.
So what did Phantasm 2 look like? The 4K remastered one.
Look great. Yeah, look fine. Yeah, and plus the fact it's the uncut version, which is the, as far as I'm aware, it's the only uncut Blu-ray you can get of the full version of the film. I mean, both look great. Like I said before, it's always great to see these kind of cult classics, horror classics, getting this kind of treatment.
So I'll be swapping them over, but I'll still be keeping them other discs.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Well, like I say, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with this
humongous poster out as well. You might be able to see some of it because it's huge.
I mean, there's no harm in keeping the incorrect discs. I mean, there's nothing. They will play on a Blu-ray player. They're just the wrong releases. That's all they are.
And the region A locked as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So can you see that?
I mean, look at that. I mean, it's a great poster. I mean, great artwork, great concept, a lot. And you've got,
that's the original one, isn't it?
Yeah, the vintage design there, which was we'll all be familiar with it. Those of us familiar with Phantasm from days gone by.
That's one of the biggest picture posters I've seen in the release. Actually, no wonder it wasn't in the box.
And you can see how it like it really, you've got to squeeze it and it really like beefs up the slipcase,
Yeah. Oh, it does, doesn't it? So that was Phantasm. Yeah, I thought that to me, I would imagine that. The Blu-ray of the Arrow release would have the 4K remastered.
No, I would think it's probably got the same transfer as the Screen Factory release, but it's still the R-rated print, therefore submitting the extra 14-15 seconds when, like I said, as I said earlier, when the priest gets a steel ball in the head. But I mean, as you can see, it's a lovely slipcase. It's a lovely poster. The only thing that mars this release is the fact that we've had this kerfuffle with the incorrect discs,
So that's amazing, that one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Then had a look at this little bad boy. Look at that slip there.
You get great value for money with this. You get a great slip. You get a reversible sleeve.
Yes, okay. I know. But it's not just one reversible sleeve, though, is it? It's kind of. See that picture there? You would think, right, that'll be on the inside, won't you? Well, obviously you don't. You get like this one here, which you would think is the. Is this the sort of pre-cert one? No, it's not a pre-cert.
No, I think it's. I first saw that artwork on the EC DVD release from way back when, the early noughties or something like that.
You're also getting here as well, like this card. So what does it have on there? Oh, and it's the
the CD. Is it the CD track listing?
Yeah. Yeah. And you get 3 discs in there. You get your Blu-ray, and you get this 71-minute long documentary.
It is, yeah, and it covers basically pretty much Diodato's output. Live like a cop, die like a man. Jungle Holocaust, Cut and Run, Off Balance, aka Phantom of Death, that sort of thing. Raiders of Atlantis Interceptors. It pretty much covers. They're pretty basically Dioda's output
and the CD soundtrack.
Yeah, and the Blu-ray with the film on is jam packed with extras as well.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so and that was I believe that was the cover on the VHS pre-shirt from the good old days.
I've definitely seen that one before.
Yeah, I think we should. As you can see, the skyline. Well, actually, they've changed that. It was Skyline video, but they've changed it to show a Severin video. So that's a nice little touch. That's a nice little nostalgic touch.
But they've done the Severin in the sort.
Exactly. Yes. Instead of Skyline, they've put Severin in there. So that's clever.
Yeah, not bad. So that's really, you get a lot of different. I'm surprised that you get this amount of different. I'm going to keep it on that one, even though
I would prefer that one. Yeah.
If they had a clear box, you could see the other artwork.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know for reasons of consistency. I know, I can understand why Severin keep on using black boxes, because a lot of their previous releases have been in black cases, which is understandable. But at the same time, unless you can see through black plastic, you won't know there was a reversible sleeve on there.
That's a really thick.
I don't know if it mentions it on the back of the case. It is. It's a lovely, that lovely smooth finish. It's lovely.
That there is such a. It actually feels like that plastic from it.
Yeah, just keep your fingers away from the blade. I don't want you to get a cut.
Well, that's it. It's like somebody else has done that. So, lastly, we checked out this one, Invasion of the Body Snatchers in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So, thoughts, John?
A lovely transfer on this. It's the best I've seen looking at me. It's again a great film with a great transfer, and you can't ask for any more than that. And you get the slipcase,
and also unsuspectedly, you also get if I can get it out, reversible art.
Another reversible art, and personally, I prefer that cover.
I can't think I've ever seen this cover before, John. I always remember this cover for some reason.
Well, so do I. But I have seen that one the odd time over the years, and I think there's more variety to it. There's more to that cover than the cover we used to see. But it's a lovely transfer,
and you're getting a really high bit rate with it as well. And it's one of those ones where you look at it and you just know it. I don't know. I think I knew it was always going to look nice. It's got that potential to look nice.
Yeah, it's you want to see a film that good, looking that good.
Yeah.
Rather than the film which is, say you've got a poor film which looks great. You think well, why bother? But with a film as good as that, you want to see it looking good, and it is looking good. In fact, it's great. So. Yeah. That's absolutely fine. And like I say, jam packed with extras, great reversible sleeve, slip covers. So it's money well spent. If these kind of films float your boat, you can't go wrong.
You cannot. Would you say these are sort of like the quintessential releases of these particular movies?
Oh, well, certainly for Body Snatchers, yeah. House on the Edge of the Park, I can't imagine. Well, short of a UHD coming out, I can't imagine a superior release coming along to knock this one off.
I can't imagine this coming out in 4K, mind. I just think it's too wow.
I mean, personally for me, I'm a firm believer that all tastes and all genres should be catered for in any format. It doesn't matter whether it's DVD, Blu-ray, UHD. Doesn't matter to me. Each new format should not just cater for the blockbusters. All sorts of films should be covered, because we all like all sorts of films. Therefore, all of our bases are covered in one way or another. Yeah. So for me, I'd have all the sort of stuff on UHD. Whether it's big budget, low budget exploitation, foreign cinema, doesn't matter to me. If it's what you like, then why can't you get it on a format you enjoy? And for me, the only thing that mars the Phantasm box set is, like I say, just the mix up with the discs, which has caused that much trouble online. But
you proved there was a mix up. There was.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah. If you got this and you looked and thought, hang on a minute, I'm not getting what I'm paying for. So that is a thing, isn't it? And you were right to sort of question it, and obviously you've got you swap the discs, which is something that if you're sitting on the fence or you're thinking, do I need to do it? Then I think you do need to do it.
Yeah, what I would do is if you have got one of these, okay, then the chances are you probably have the wrong discs in there. Yeah. Hopefully not, of course, touch wood, but if so, get in touch with Well Go USA, send them proof of purchase that you've ordered the copy from a legitimate retailer, and they will send you out the replacement discs. Mine arrived actually quite quick. I was quite surprised how quickly they arrived. But better to be safe than sorry. Check out some of the online information about this, but there's a lot to go through, and like I say, I gave up. It was too confusing. So if you have a copy, if you think it's the wrong disc inside, which it may well be, unfortunately, get the replacement copies sent out to you as quick as you can.
Well, I think that's so. This is obviously the second part because we're filming this as one big part, and we're going to have to cut them all up and put them into two parts to make sure they're not too long. So this is a bit of a shorter visit from John today, unfortunately, but we're looking to get together very soon. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline, a lot of things to talk about, and can't wait to get you back here, John, back to Mondo Central.
Well, I'm looking forward to being here as long as I've once again scared no subscribers off. Or I hope you're all still awake. No, but like I say, I just want to thank you all once again for the kind words. It was a nice warm welcome to this channel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just the same as you guys. I like to collect, love watching films, I like to collect films. I've been doing it for more years than I can remember. But it's always nice to get nice comments from subscribers.
It makes you feel, you see, because there's nothing worse when you start off and you're nervous. There's no one who comes on here and says, "Oh, I wasn't nervous at all." Everyone was nervous to see what was going to happen. But obviously, see that your videos have been warmly accepted, and for that reason, it's great to have you sort of get your foot in the door. And I'm looking forward to getting you some videos on your actual channel as well.
Yeah, hopefully, if I can try and think of a subject I want to try and get my teeth into. I mean, like I say, it's it's always nice to hear kind words, and it costs nothing to be civil. So I'd like to thank you all again for the warm welcome. I am very grateful for it, and hopefully I can keep you entertained for the foreseeable future anyway.
So on that note, and that very upbeat note, John will be back here as soon as I can get him back, and we'll get some more videos on the go. And John will be putting his thinking cap on what videos we can talk about and what things we can talk about. And obviously, Shelf 2 is happening.
I know. I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
So Shelf 2 is going to be quite a thing. Like, how do I put them onto the other shelf? Where do I start? How do I move off Shelf 1 to Shelf 2? So that's going to be quite a good thing. In essence, I think we'll go through some of that ourselves when I've got the shelves built. You can give us a bit of a hand on. I
can do a bit of a sequel to the first video when I went through the first lot of shelves.
Shelf 2 talk over.
Yeah.
So there you go. So anyway, thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Take care and all the best.
Cheers.
Cheers.